Rovers return to Championship action this coming weekend to take on Watford. That's right. Can Rovers make it back-to-back away wins, or will it be a second defeat in a row? We're going to get to that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at Watford up against Rovers at Vicarage Road this coming weekend, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You're subscribed for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football, world football. We're going on here under Roverseas. That's right, of course. Transfer window slam shut. International break is over, and Rovers returning to action. That's right. Standing in the way though are a tricky Watford side. That's right. We're going to get into all of that in a minute and talk about it. Big shout out to members of the Patreons. You know who you are. So yeah, tricky old game this one. Of course, Watford got some exciting players, but can we get them on a bad day? Well, that's the plan right here, right now, as Rovers go to Vicarage Road. That's right, the venue. Been here. The old stomping ground, in fact, down in Hertfordshire, Middlesex, whatever you want to call it. But of course, it is the big Valerian Ishmael derby, of course. And it will be Paolo Pozzolano in the dugout for the Hornets, with the most valuable player being Callum Wiley on the books, according to Transfermarkt. Paolo Pozzolano has a 1.55 points per match ratio, but of course he never met Big Val in the dugout, so that'll be a first for that. But let's take a look at the players. I know Callum Wiley has been rated there as the most expensive. But who's been the best? Well, it's actually been this guy. Nestoroi Erangunda, of course, the Australian, coming in from Bayern. Been an absolute revelation so far. Big-time danger man. 2 goals to his first 4 games already. They have actually got some really exciting players, and I'd hope to see our foreigners really kick on and have a good season so far. But so far, Nestor Irakunda's got a couple of goals, as has Luka Kurmagard. They're also getting their money back on the old letters on the back of the shirts here. So Kurmagard, Irakunda, and he's Kevin Piakako as well, with all standout performances thus far. Of course, also keep an eye on the assist makers here, with Irakunda getting himself an assist as well. What about the performances on the pitch? Well, currently, SofaScore have Watford ranked as the 12th best team with an average of 6.80. Picking up 4 matches so far, scoring 5 goals, but also conceding 5 goals. So that could be they might be explosive going forward, but they might also be a little bit worrying at the back. No clean sheets thus far, 1.3 goals per game on average, with a ball possession rate of 50.3. They also have duels won, 56.7 of the duels won in the air, 49.5 of the duels won on the ground. They've also had 1 red card to them, as have we. So we'll explore Rovers' stats in a little bit. Let's take a look then at the how the goals have been scored for Watford. Coming at you right here, 3 through open play, 2 set pieces. They've also conceded 3 from set pieces and 2 from open play. And when they have the ball, they prefer the left-hand side to the right. And they're also a bit of a defensive-minded team at the moment, because these are changing. Of course, Rovers, you'll see Rovers in a minute. As for the shots, they prefer to shoot from the left-hand side, and 41% of the shots are in the 18-yard box. 52, that's a whopping 52, outside the box. As for shots from the other end, from receiving, more often than not, they're coming down the right-hand side, and 10% in that 6-yard area. Let's take a look at the players that have come in and have gone out of Watford's doors over the summer. Big signings. Look at like Callum Wiley has been brought in on loan once again from Chelsea. Here's that Nestor Irakunda coming in from Bayern, £3 million signing there. Very, very exciting option. Other options, of course, they've used their sort of system there with Udinese, bringing in the likes of Semedo and Mama. Well, actually, no Mama, but Semedo and Abakankwa. Also brought in the likes of Mark Bowler from Samson Spor, Hector Kipirano as well, and most recently Napapal's Mependi coming in. Meanwhile, players going out. Backman's gone over to Deportivo La Coruña, with João Ferreira joining Saint Etienne. Also say goodbye to Ryan Porteous, and of course goalkeeper matey boy Jonathan Bonds going to Houston back at the end of the deal there, and Antonio Tivich went over to the Zweite Bundesliga in Germany. Let's take a look at the squad then, shall we, for Watford. This is, of course, the team here, right now. Selvik, of course, between the next backs to compete for the jersey as well. Into the defensive ranks, Max Aline's there coming in on loan from Man City. Jeremy Nakakaka is there. Matthew Pullock, Mark Bowler as well. Moving forward into the midfield ranks, the likes of Joey Chakvadze's in the mixer there, Musa Sissoko, and Thomas Ince still on the cards. And then, of course, Irakunda still taking all the highlights here. Dumbia as well up top, and of course, Rocco Avata as an option to spice it up a little bit. This is, of course, the most expensive 11 for Watford on paper. The likes of Silvich between the sticks, Wiley, Bowler, Pollock, Andrews, Dumwoma, Kamye, Loser, Chakvadze, Irakunda, and Barr. But, of course, injuries, suspension, all that kind of guys. This is what has been the most recent lineup for Watford with the back three. Silvich, Angwankwa, Keben, Aliane, Bola, Kayami, Cipriano, Sissoko, Nakaka, Kumangard and Irakunda, of course. But that is, of course, what we could expect. Moving forward for Watford, they're actually their form book right now. They're coming into this on the back of a 2-2 thriller against Southampton. That was at home, followed on from a draw away to Swansea. Their one and only win, I think, was a 2-1 win over QPR. That was back on August 16th. So they're looking to double it up right here, right now. But after Rovers, it'll be Millwall away, Hull City at home, Pompey away, Oxford at home, and Sheffield United away. That, of course, will be the next stretch heading into the next international break, I do believe. Moving forward, let's take a look at Blackburn Rovers then, shall we? Of course, coming at you right here, right now, with Big Val up against his old club. He's got a 1.67 points per match ratio. He has managed against Watford 3 times, picking up 2 wins and 1 defeat. The most expensive player on our books at the moment, it is Todd Cantwell. And hopefully he can stand up and be a main man. Moving forward, this is the statistics for Rovers. Rovers are currently the 18th best squad in there, or team at the moment, in the division with a 6.76 average. We played 4 games, scored 4 goals, conceded 5, but we do have a clean sheet to our record. We are averaging 1 goal a game at the moment. Hit the woodwork twice, not too shabby. Ball possession 48.3. Our area doors, despite the height, are quite low, actually beneath the 50 mark. And we've picked up, how many yellows? Does it show any yellows? 1.5 yellows per game on average. Moving forward, where am I? Show me. There I am. Of course, the goals coming at you haven't changed up here. 2 from open play, 2 set pieces. As for the goals conceded, 2 penalties. Very, very sloppy. 1 from set piece, 1 open play, and 1 counter attack. So Rovers need to tighten the ship on that regards. As for possession, we are still an opposition third base, like full end, frontal foot focused team, but it is drifting. I've seen that number sway towards the own third over the last couple of matches here. We prefer the left-hand side to the right. That's the Ribeiro side. That's Hedges. Got to give him some credit right there. And when we do take a shot, it's coming more often down the left than the right. And it's cost 23% within the 6-yard area. So we're working it quite close to the mark to pull the trigger. And ultimately, we're missing it. We're missing the target. As for shots received, more often down the left-hand side. And 11%. See, drastic contrast from oppositions. They are taking more shots from outside the box than we are. We're working it maybe a bit too much in my eyes. Moving forward, what else can I show you right here, right now? Let's take a look at the star men then, shall we? Of course, Cantwell has been running the show, but his percentage dropped heavily this past week after a real poor performance across the board here. I'm not singling him out. I'm singling the whole team out. So Hedges also up there, second best player on paper. Come on, guys. He deserves much more credit at the moment. Tronstad as well. Those 3 are the only players above 7 at that moment. Goals coming from Todd Cantwell, Hedges. Ohashi has 1, and Cargo and Hedges do have assists to their name. As for Rovers transfer market, now we have just brought in, I say just because I am recording this on the 1st of September, even before the transfer window slam shuts officially. So there might be some more names added to this. But we just recently completed the Royo Morishita game. He did feature, of course, briefly for a cameo. And Andrew Johnson also signed before the international break as well. So these are the 2 new additions. There might be some more ones. We really need to see more of Lewis Miller and Axel Henriksen. Musa Baraji is an exciting player if we can get him fit and raring to go. But currently, he's a little bit away from that. As for players going out, we have said goodbye to Travis Buckley, Callum Britton as well, all for a fee. And of course, Joe Costello also left as well with Wyman Bath joining the Derby reunion at Pride Park. So that is that. The current players on the books, according to me right now, is Blasas Toft. Pears may or may not be here. I don't know. Again, the window is still open for a little bit anyway, so he may be gone. I'm going to record this now. Also, anyone else potentially could be gone? I don't think so. Look, it looks like we do need another centre-back here. We've got Dom Hyam. We've got Sean McLaughlin there, Scotty Wharton, Hayden Carter. That's 4, but I think we do need another experienced one, maybe, if we're going to be a little bit greedy. I know Miller can play there. I think Pickering can play there at a push. Versatility, it seems to be the key at the moment for Rovers. Moving forward into the midfield, likes of Hedges is there, Baraji, Christian Montgomery, a couple of young players in here. It is looking a bit more varied, but I think, again, another midfielder could be on the books here, and maybe another forward. Who knows? I really don't know. And Leonard might not be here as well. He might even be on loan. I don't even know. Anyway, that's, of course, the state of play there. The most expensive team on paper for Rovers is this. Believe it or not, Pears, not here. Don't think so. Anyway, Pickering, Wharton, Hyman, and Carter. Baraji, Tronstad, Campbell, Ohashi, Morishita, and Maktar. This was the lineup we played last time. There might be another video with the guys talking about what lineup we're going to go with against Watford, because McLaughlin will not be involved. He was red carded last time around. I think Carbo deserves to be dropped. I think Tavares, depending on who comes in, could also be dropped, and maybe Ohashi might also be rested or just, you know, given a different responsibility. I think there will be at least, well, definitely 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 changes for this team coming at you for the next game, with Gudjonsson coming off the international break, and then maybe Morishita coming in for Cargbo, and then Tavares. That's the question mark. If we have another signing, yep, he comes in for Tavares. I think he needs a bit more time to be better. I'm not writing any of these guys off. I think Cargbo just needs to get the back of the net. He's got some tricks up his locker. He's definitely a handful, but he needs to put the ball in the back of the net quickly. Moving forward, this is Rovers' resume coming into this. Not great so far. Defeats back-to-back at home. We did pick up a win at Hull last time on the road, so hopefully we can make it back-to-back home wins, or at least back-to-back home matches unbeaten at least. Moving forward, then after this, we take on Ipswich Town, who've yet to kick in a gear. And then we got Charlton. Oh, whoa, back up. Next up for Rovers, though, it is Ipswich Town. Around record at Ewood Park. Then Charlton, the Joe Rankin Costello derby, Swansea, Stoke. I think you would be looking at those 4 and maybe getting some points. Coventry, and depending on what's going on with Sheffield United, we might even fancy that one. But these 2 are going to be after the international break again. So if we can get some form cooking here, you would imagine a couple of wins potentially, maybe a couple of draws if we can get some form. If we can get 8 points out of those 4, then you know what? Suddenly, things start to look a little bit better. But of course, that is a wishful thinking on my behalf. Quick look then at the game itself. 18 times we have played at Watford over the course of 25 years. 8 wins for Watford, 7 wins for Rovers. There's been 3 draws. Watford, though, are unbeaten in 3. Rovers just 1 win in 6. Grim form, 17% form for us. We are 19th compared to their 14th. They have a 4-0 win on the record. They got 28 goals scored against us, 1.56 goals a game. As for Rovers, 2-0 win was our best. 25 goals scored against them, 1.39 goals a game. Coming into this, though, the market value of the squads is a little bit doubled there by Watford, 54 million, you would say, compared to Rovers, 40 million. They average around about 2 million a player compared to our 1.4. Younger squad than us, more national team players, more youth, more foreigners as well. Moving forward, again, where am I? There I am. Over the last 6, both home and away, Rovers have actually got the upper hand here with 3 wins compared to Watford's 2 and 1 draw. However, last time we played at Vicarage Road, it was a 1-0 win for Watford, but we did get our own back at Ewood with Campbell scoring and Tyrese Dolan. The last 6 at Vicarage Road looks a little bit like this. 3 wins for Watford, 1 for Rovers, and 2 draws. Rovers not far away from that win. It was that Ryan Hedges special, of course, but it's been feels a long time ago. That does now. Meanwhile, over the last 10, looks like this. We're looking for the red ones here. We've got 1, 2, 3 wins of the last 10. Watford have 5 though, so pretty much going in that way. Let's take a look at the table as of right now. It might change depending on when you watch this video because there might be a game on a Friday. But Rovers are in 19th, but a win away from 11th. As for Watford, they're a win away from 5th. So could go any which way you like. As for the strengths and weaknesses for both sides, then, of course, coming into this, Watford's strengths are shooting direct from free kicks, creating chances through balls and aerial duels. Their weaknesses, though, defending set pieces, avoiding fouling in dangerous areas. Their style of play is long shots with long balls, through balls, coming down the left. They like to play aggressive on the offside trap, and they have a consistent first 11. They also like to play in their own half. Rovers, though, strengths are through balls, defending set pieces. Our weaknesses, though, avoiding offside big time. Mac de Gay, big culprit there, keeping possession of the ball, defending against long shots, avoiding fouling in dangerous areas. Penalties, bad time. Meanwhile, Rovers style is playing out wide, down the left, aggressive, of course, allow opponents to play aggressively against them, and we also have a consistent first 11. The forecast says Watford will score from a free kick. There'll be a high number of cards. Watford will be shown a high number of cards as well, and Rovers will stray offside often, that's for sure. That is money in the bank right there. Meanwhile, what else is going around in the Championship? Of course, they all kick off on Friday with Ipswich against Sheffield United. Bit of a stargazer, that one. Then early kickoffs, Oxford, Leicester, Charlton, Millwall, Preston, Middlesbrough. Then at 3 o'clock will be Stoke, Birmingham, Wednesday, Bristol City, West Brom, Derby, Wrexham, QPR, Swansea, Hull, Coventry, Norwich. Game on Sunday, a bit of a spectacular one as well as the South Coast Derby. But all eyes at Vicarage Road at 3 o'clock. I love the watch along, so come on and join me, whether you're a Watford fan or Rovers fan. Although I kind of got a soft spot for Watford, so I'd like to see you guys do well. I did drop the poll very early. It's kind of evenly split right now, which is kind of good. The draw is at 15%. This might drastically change, definitely in favour for Watford once people start to wake up and have a cup of coffee or so. As for me, then, what do I think will happen in this match? Well, honestly, since Rovers started this campaign, I haven't predicted a win at all. In fact, I think I'm 3 draws on the spin at the moment. Actually, might be 4 draws on the spin. I don't even know. It's a tricky old one, and I am lean. I'm gonna stick my neck out on the block. I'm not confident for a win at all. I just think football's a funny old game. You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to deserve it. I think we might fluke it, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Blackburn Rovers. I think Ija Johnson's son, Andy Johnson, might get off to a flying start, get a goal, and of course get the confidence going for him. And then, of course, breathe some life into the Rovers fan base and maybe kickstart our season. If the season starts here for Rovers, I think we can have a good month of September, and also that can bleed into the month of October as well. But that is it. Subscribe, special like wherever you are in the world. I'll be back very soon, but until then, we are done.